90% of the people that live in District 1 are Hispanic. What Hispanic person do you know, once they know that Shelley Berkeley really stands for abortion, will vote for her? They're 100% Catholic. Most of them will not vote for her. Well, most of them are. There's just a lot. She stands for No Child Left Behind Act. She stands behind it 100%. She says she's for our veterans. Yet the veterans in politics went to Washington a couple of months ago and told them, absolutely not. You're not our. You don't belong to us. Okay.
So my campaign manager, Steve, we can't say that.
It's going to be for everyone to answer, but I'm going to direct it towards Ray because he opened the door by saying he's against No Child Left Behind. But on your website, and it quotes,
it says,
legislation for full funding of the No Child Left Behind Act. And the question is, has this program turned our public schools into test-taking factories, and why are you changing your opinion?
Basically, I did a little research on it. I talked to a lot of people within the Senate and within the Assembly. I guarantee you within a couple of days my website will be changed. Unfortunately, my webmaster's been out of town for 2 weeks, so I have to take care of that. The No Child Left Behind Act is why we're in trouble now. The regulations that are imposed on the schools have put the teachers in such a fix where they cannot be free to teach the way they want to teach, which is putting our children in jeopardy, putting them in a situation where they failed their tests the way they did this past year. It was the worst they've ever done. We have to do away with that act. It has to be gone. I apologize that that's on my website. Yes, it is. That's the only thing I think you'll see that there's a discrepancy in whatever I talk about. But where my heart is in the No Talent Left Behind Act. And again, I say that I don't want the federal government to control, other than maybe funding, something to the schools to be able to allow us to go after the talent that's with our kids, because the talent needs to be explored first. It doesn't slow down those students who are being held back, and it will allow freedom for them to grow, and I guarantee you with them growing and the teachers being given the freedom to be able to do what they need to do to teach properly, to teach the way they...
I'll make this real quick. When my wife and I came here to Las Vegas 30 years ago, 30 years ago I guess, we didn't have any children. We started drinking that lake water out there and ended up with 5 kids.
Let me tell you what reality is. I'm a pretty big guy, and a senior was beating up a freshman the first day of homeroom there, and I went to break up the fight, and they told me if I touched that student, I would be charged. See, I got a problem with that, and after they told me that, I mean, I've been in the military my whole life. I know how to control my temper and whatever. I could have broke up the fight, and that would have been that. We need to get rid of the Department of Education.
No School Left Behind is working, and the only thing that's kind of holding it back was 9/11. We had to change. We had something happen 7 years ago that changed everything. But even with this stuff that came down with terrorists, 9/11, no school left behind, no children left is working. In fact, when the airplanes went into the building, President Bush was at a school, I believe in Florida, preschool, talking to the kids. And the only thing that's keeping those schools, no child left behind, are the demagogues in Congress that don't want it to work.
We have an extremely efficient army, brave volunteer army, the best in the world. I really believe the good Lord put America on this planet to bring freedom to the whole world.
Technology they're talking about that the French have, it's called a breeder reactor. They can recycle all of it. All you got to do is change our nuclear power plants over to breeder reactors. They don't need to ship it anyway. If I was a terrorist, I'd be licking my chops waiting for that stuff, because this gentleman's wrong. Not that I'm saying that I'm very smart or anything, but that was my field. And the stuff that I could do with the rods, the spent rods, because they're not really spent. They're just not hot enough to reheat the water. You could make a nice little dirty bomb and get radiation material all over it. You can't build a detonator. Well, I can build a detonator, but you can't build a detonator because you probably.
So there are good uses for the spent rods and that stuff.
And what we're using with the spent rods right now, we're making our shells for our Abrams. Works really well. But the truth is, we just need to build breeder reactors because it's retarded for us to ship it and bury it in the ground. I mean, that's,
A
makes no
minute.
sense at all. Sorry, thanks.
My turn now?
No, no,